Next up on my Steam library, I'm playing Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is a multiplayer online tactical team shooter. It's the latest in the long-established Rainbow Six line of Tom Clancy games. Rainbow Six was it's one of the earliest Tom Clancy games, along with like Ghost Recon, and it might even have been the first. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. I think Ghost Recon might have been the first. Well, it might have been Splinter Cell, but definitely been going a while. There's been a great many of them, and this is the latest in that line. Out 2015, I think, a few years ago now. But I've been playing it this weekend because it's been free to play this weekend, so I thought I'd give it a go. I haven't played it in all the time it's been out, but I've seen a fair bit about it, a fair few videos of other people playing it, and I've always been interested but never took the plunge. But for free, well, you can't turn that down. Might as well have a go. So, it's a first-person shooter, as you probably already knew. It's a modern military first-person shooter. You play 5v5 team battles where one team's attacking and one team's defending on quite small self-contained maps. Each team is made up of operators, they call them in the game. They're the game's characters. Each of these operators has different sort of loadouts and gadgets, and it usually revolves around the attacking team having to defuse a bomb or locate a hostage or a biohazard, and the defending team being the ones that have to stop that happening.
Downstairs.
It's very crisp and clean looking, very smooth to play. No stylized art form or anything. It's all straightforward, crisp, clean looking art style. So the operators are the meat of the game. I think that's what you've got to get to learn the most. Each operator has a unique thing about them. It's the one thing that sets them apart from all the other operators, and that's sort of their role, if you like. That's the thing that they excel in doing, is whatever their unique thing about them is, and I'll give you some examples in a minute. But other than that, each of the attacking and defending operators, and they are both different. The attacking operators are all different to the defending operators, so there's no crossover where you might be able to play the same one in attack and defense. They're both separated. So there's a weapon pool which each of the operators has to choose from, and each operator will have 2, sometimes 3 primary weapons to choose from. These will be along the lines of your usual assault rifles, SMGs and shotguns, and they'll all have a secondary weapon to choose from as well, which is along the lines of your different pistols. Each of these weapons can be customized in some way, have a loadout that involves optics, red dots, hollow sights, ACOGs, that kind of thing, barrel attachments, flash hiders, muzzle brakes, suppressors, and grips, foregrip, vertical grip or angled grip is the only 2 I saw while I was playing, and laser sight or not, basically, is the other option. So not massive gun customization options, not along the lines of sort of previous Battlefields or Call of Duties, but a few different options. And the weapon pool that each operator has isn't that great. Like, say, they'll have like 2 or 3 weapons to choose from, and the weapon pool in the whole game isn't massive either. There's a fair few of the weapons are repeated across operators, but there's a fair bit to keep you interested. But like I say, each of the operators' main thing is the unique thing that sets them apart, and this could be like one operator called Sledge has, you guessed it, a great big sledgehammer, and he's an attacking operator, and he uses this sledgehammer for knocking down doors and knocking down any destructible wall or barricade that can be done. That's his thing. Other operators have things like jammers, EMP grenades, other things that basically help you get into the building, into the area where you've got to attack. And the defending operators have things that help defend. They might have jammers again,
Man
things to
versus
jam
Pixel, I think you're good.
breaching charges and stuff,
Nice
or
to
they
meet you.
might have a thing that stops grenades coming in, a thing that detonates grenades as they come in. Gun turret, one of the defending operators has like an in-place gun turret he sets up. Mobile shields, and that kind of thing. And they all have something different. And the way you play each one kind of revolves around that in some way. You can just sort of ignore their gadget sometimes if you're not in a situation where you can really use it, and you just run around as if they're just a regular soldier, you know, and just go around killing. But you should try and pick an operator whose gadget you're at least going to use and at least going to get something out of. Otherwise, it's a bit of a waste. So, as for the loadouts, there's a reasonable amount of sort of attachment options to the guns, and then there's a lot of customization for cosmetic looking items. There's lots of skins, there's lots of things they call charms, which are just little like trinkets that hang off your gun just to give it a different look. And there's lots of different uniforms, headgear and such that you can have for your soldier as well. These are all unlocked via an in-game system they call Renown. That's like your in-game currency. This is used to unlock all your different skins, all your different uniforms, and all your new operators as well. Because if you get the game, you don't get all the operators unlocked. You get a good few if you buy the standard edition of the game, and on the free weekend they were letting you have the all the original operators. But since the game's come out, every year they've released new operators, and there's now probably twice the number that there were when the game first came out. And all of these are not unlocked rather. They are locked if you just buy the standard edition of the game. And you can unlock them sort of one by one with the Renown in the in-game currency, or you can buy each year's sort of season pass, or that year's pass, and that unlocks all the operators that were brought in that year. So you can buy like the year 1 pass, the year 2 pass, and I'm sure they do a season pass as well that will give you access to everything that comes out in the future. But the amount of renown you needed to unlock a new operator is quite a lot. I only got about half the amount I needed over playing the free weekend to unlock a new operator. So it's fairly grindy if you want to unlock new operators just with the in-game currency. You have to play quite a lot, and you're not going to be unlocking them at a great rate of knots. But of course, you can buy this in-game currency with real currency as well. Never one to miss a trick like that. Ubisoft, well, you don't buy the in-game currency as such. You buy a different type of currency with your real money, and you can use that. So it might be like 25,000 renown, which is the in-game currency to unlock an operator, or it might be like 600 of the real money currency. I forget what they call it. Rainbow 6 points or something like that, but that's the stuff you buy for real money. So again, up to you how much you want to pay for it. I think if you wanted to unlock operators, you might as well just buy the year pass and just unlock everything, unless there's only really one that you wanted, and then maybe you could just pay the money to unlock that one. But it all depends on sort of how interested you are in the new operators, I guess. But it's it's well supported like that. There's been lots of new stuff out. You don't get much in the game, from what I can see on the weekend anyway. It's very slow to unlock stuff in the game. You get like a loot box, not automatically. You don't get a loot box when you level up. There is an XP and leveling system as well, but like you don't get a loot box when you level up. You get a loot box, or at least you get a spin to get a chance of a loot box when you win a game. And at first it's like only a 2% chance of the wheel spins. You're probably not going to get one. But every time you lose, your chance, it puts like 2% onto your chance, so it adds another 2% to your chance to win one. But you only get the spin when you win a game, when you win a match. So you might go 10 games, say, when you lose the game, and that'll still get you your increased percentage chance, but it won't give you a spin. You'll have to wait until you next win a game to get a spin. I think I must have gone, well, I must have been about 12 games without a win, 12, 15 games maybe, because I had a spin and I was on like 28% chance to win, to get a loot box, and I didn't, but I did get one on my next win though. But yeah, so but the loot boxes have contain the different skins. I don't think the loot boxes ever contain operators. I certainly didn't see. I mean, the few that I got, it was all skins. It was all weapon skins and charms. But I don't think they contain operators. But that's again, that's slow going as well. You're not going to get a lot of those. And of course, you can buy those as well. You can buy those packs with renown or with the real money. So the gameplay itself is pretty decent. It's the maps, yeah, like I said, tight, self-contained maps. It's nearly all fought out indoors. The attackers start outdoors, but they have to make their way into the building. And the defenders start indoors, and if they leave the building, if they go outside, they get penalised by being like automatically spotted. They appear on every attacker's team, so the defenders have really got to stay indoors unless they want to be seen by every attacker. And the attackers start outdoors but have to make their way indoors to actually get anything done. So yeah, all the maps are indoor maps, pretty much, tight, self-contained, corridors and rooms, offices, buildings, that sort of thing. There's quite a variety of tactical options to complete each round, both from the attackers and the defenders. The attackers have lots of options to repel up and down the walls of the building, get up onto the roof, and then rappel down maybe through a skylight or something, and to breach through doors and breach through windows, to use scans, EMP grenades and that to try and disable the enemy defences. And the defenders, when they set up, they get to like reinforce the walls, reinforce windows, barricade doors, barricade any other sort of openings, put barbed wire and traps down, and other jammers and things that detonate grenades. So yeah, they get a fair few tactical options in their setup as well. So yeah, it's quite a tactical game, quite a lot of strategy involved if you're going to play it, you know, in a real proper way. So it's a competitive game. There's a competitive scene for it. Lots of esports go on around this game, so it's definitely got that edge to it. So yeah, I think it's a very good tactical team shooter. It's got solid shooting mechanics and solid netcode, no problems. Either of those times, I never had times when I was like thought I was getting shot after I'd gone behind cover, or trading kills with people, anything like that. Solid shooting, solid netcode. It's that kind of game where you can have like periods of quiet, like not much happening. Like if you're defending, you're waiting for the attackers to come, or if you're attacking, you're kind of going through the building, looking, trying to find where they are. And then you can have like an intense period of a fast action period very quickly, and then that could be over extremely fast. Like you either die or you kill the person that was shooting you, but then maybe you get killed straight away as well. It's that kind of game. It's like the action's like start stop, and dying isn't too bad. The rounds aren't too long. Even if you die early doors, you don't sit around doing nothing for more than a couple of minutes usually. It can get a little frustrating if it happens to you round after round, like you die first every time, and like, you know, you're not really getting anything done. And you can have times where the round's over, you haven't died, but you didn't see anyone yourself. Like the action took place where you weren't. You might have been defending, you might have been watching like a different corner of the building, a different stairwell or something, and no one came up your way, and you hear all this gunfire on the other side of the building, and then it says round over. So it's not a game where you're going to get constant action all the time. It's like a more of a strategic game where you're going to have like maybe an intense, quick period of action and then a bit of quiet. Although there are objectives, I must say it's not. I wouldn't call it an objective-based game. Not like say like Overwatch is also a team game, but it's very much objective-based. It's totally objective-based, but the objectives in this game, although they are there, the attackers are supposed to, like, say, defuse the bomb. Defenders are supposed to stop that happening. I'd say like 90% or more, 95% of the games I played, all ended by one team being wiped out or the other. Very few games actually ended by one team completing the objective over the other. So it's pretty much a team deathmatch with an objective there. The objective kind of more serves as a focal point for the action to give like the attackers a beacon, if you will, just to say, right, that's where the action's good, that's the objective, that's where the defenders are going to be, that's where it's all going to go down, that's where shit's going to happen. So yeah, it's not really an objective based game. The only dislike I really had was the progression and unlock system. I dislike the progression system. Is very slow, and not a great deal to it really. As the progression goes, the XP goes, you don't really get anything for leveling up. I certainly didn't notice anything. Like, it's not like you get loot boxes when you level, or even every 10 levels or anything. Seemed to be fairly pointless, the leveling system. And the unlock system, having to unlock the operators with the in-game currency or the real currency, I dislike that. Although, like I said, there are all the original operators available from the beginning of the game, but yeah, I'm sure there are some of the new operators that have come out in the years since that are considered to be, overpowered or at least a higher tier of usefulness and effectiveness than some of the original operators. And certainly if you haven't paid or got the points to unlock those, you could possibly be playing at a bit of a disadvantage. But it's full price. Full price for the standard edition is $34.99. At the end of this free weekend for the next few days, it's 50% off. That's £17.49. There's a pack or a version of the game called the Starter Edition, which is full price $11.99 and is 33% off for the next few days after the free weekend. So that makes it £8 3p. The difference in the Starter Edition is that even not all the original operators are unlocked. You get a random, I think they said 6 operators unlocked. 3 attack operators and 3 defense operators. And the unlocks take more renown, I think they said as well. It's more grindy to get. If that's all you buy, you get the rest of the game, completely, all the maps, all the game modes, everything else, but you only get random 3 attack and 3 defense operators from the original operators. So that's quite a cut down version, but it is quite a cut down price. It's like, say, $11.99 full price, £8 3p at the current discount. But it is if you just stuck to that and didn't upgrade to like the standard edition, you would be grinding a lot longer to try and unlock the games. And if you are going to play it for that long, you probably want to upgrade to the standard edition. But it's decent to just try and to test it out. It's a very good tactic for Ubisoft to offer it that sort of cheap, just to give people a trial. And if they do want to carry on playing it, they can. It's not like it's a timed like at the free weekend or anything like that. But the standard edition at the current discount is very good value. I think 17.49 for the standard edition. I played like 14 hours over the weekend, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. There's plenty of DLC, plenty of updates, plenty of updates still to come. It's been very well supported. It was one of those games that wasn't well received when it first came out, and had quite a few problems, but they've improved it quite a bit, and it's gotten better, and its player base has grown since since its release. It has grown into quite a strong esport and a strong sort of multiplayer shooter. So it's definitely got longevity, and it's definitely well supported. And if you think this could be your game, there could be many hundreds of hours gameplay in it for you. So the full price at that sort of value would be good. But it's very good value at the current discounts. And if you ever see it at those discounts, the starter edition for 11.99 full price is probably the best way for you to try it to see if you like it, unless it turns up on another free weekend again. And if it does, I advise you to play it. But yeah, I recommend trying the starter edition if you're not sure. And if you've seen enough of it on YouTube, or if you played the free weekend as well, then yeah, the standard edition if you are sure, if you already know you're going to get it. So that's Rainbow Six Siege. Thanks for watching. Oh, did I hit his screen?